Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're talking radio, which is something that is really very close to my heart. It's how I started here at CBC. And with us this morning, we have a face you may remember. Shane Seeley, who's the communication specialist for the QEH.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to meet you, Kay.
Nice to meet you in person.
Indeed.
Because the QEH is starting a Pulse radio show, is that right?
Indeed.
And I understand that there was a newsletter that Good Morning Barbados featured on the very first cover?
Yes, you did. The very first fold-out cover. We had a few trial runs with 2 single prints, and then we have this new iteration of the QEH Pulse magazine or newsletter, and definitely Mornin Barbados had to be on the cover with Rhea and a few of our colleagues.
Also with us, we have Dr. Rhea. We have Rhea Corbin-Harte, who is the Chief Operations Officer, QEH.
She would love to be.
Thanks for promoting me. I'm the Patient Relations Manager at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Our Chief Operations Officer couldn't join us in the end.
All right. So talk to us about where you're going now with this Pulse radio show. So you're now lifting it off the pages and bringing it to the heart of the people.
Indeed. So in collaboration with communications and as myself as patient relations, we wanted to be able to promote the Queen Elizabeth Hospital as a leading tertiary institution in the Caribbean, not just Barbados. And we also wanted to provide a resource for persons to garner information on how the hospital works, what resources we have for them, what services we offer, and how the hospital integrates with the healthcare system on a wider basis in Barbados. So we wanted to bring that to the people on a weekly basis so that they would have a dedicated resource to garner this information.
All right, that's wonderful stuff, Shane. I could see this being at the core of what you do. Having been here in this position as host of Mornin Barbados and done radio and television and so on, you know, this is a way to connect with people in a way that you've not been able to in the past.
I like the word you use, connect, because
Yes.
QEH Connect is our branding for all of our socials and all of what we do to reach the public, our website as well. So we encourage people to sign on to www.qehconnect.com. But indeed, Rhea, we saw the connection on radio already. Of course, when we leave Mornin Barbados, we've done Mornin Barbados with you as part of our 60th anniversary celebrations, just sharing with the public what we're doing, as Dr. Corbin-Harte said, our services, some of our newer services, PALS, our patient advice and liaison service, where patients and those members of the public connect with us to get critical information. But when we leave here, we normally go on Q100.7 FM to share more of what we do at the hospital, and we realize that we've been getting a lot of traction, especially using that medium here at Mornin Barbados too, but we're getting a lot of what we are looking for, that feedback from the public. So we thought that that connection was indeed critical to make. We had some discussions with management here. Of course, CBC in its own right is celebrating 60 years of television, so it's only fitting that we be a part of that journey and you join us for ours as well. And we have that QEH Pulse radio show.
You mentioned that the show is going to be weekly, is that right?
Yes, every Monday from 11 to 12.
You preempted my question.
11 to 12.
11 to 12. And tell me, you spoke about the fact that people will be able to engage with you and ask questions. They can ask any question they want. They'll get all the answers they need.
They will.
Yes?
They will. Of course, we know that people can get frustrated. We hear some of the frustrations from the public. We've seen a lot of social media activity recently, which we've had to respond to promptly. But what it does, we'll spend the first 10 minutes of the show setting the space, basically, letting people know this is the topic of the day, this is what we're focusing on. The first episode, of course, we're going to just set the scene, and Dr. Corbin-Harte has the template here, so she'll tell you more about that. We'll set the scene, but then we'll get into some of those critical issues that people want to know about. Second episode is about accident and emergency department and how best people can use that. The third episode is about complaints and compliments. people complain, and we want to be able to respond. We have a number of avenues that we can respond to that, but we need to let people know what these avenues are. So Q100.7 FM will be that platform where we will weekly do that, give them the information they need so that they can better utilize and understand what services we're offering at the QEH.
You can follow on.
Sure.
Dr. Corbin-Harte.
So Mr. Seeley did a very good job at giving the first three of our topics. Another big topic that persons always have questions about and that impacts a lot of our population would be the NCDs, the non-communicable diseases. So we'll be talking about diabetes and you know, everything from how it may come about, how it may present itself, what your doctor can do for you, how medications can help, side effects of medications, the repercussions of stopping the medication suddenly, things that we see every day impacting persons and actually causing them to end up having to seek medical care. So the NCD topic will be one of the early topics as well, to provide that information. We'll be also talking about our outpatients clinics and appointments, what they're for, you know, how to best utilize them. We'll be speaking about pediatric care and advancements at QEH in pediatric care. And as time goes on, many, many more topics. A lot of the topics will come from the common questions that I get in the patient relations department from persons, common misconceptions as well, and the general knowledge that persons tend to call and seek when they dial 536-4800, which is our patient advice and liaison service. So we would be coining our topics as time goes on from the common questions and queries.
And one of those topics, of course, Fran, it may not be on this list, but we will have to deal with it because we have to meet the demands of the public and their need for knowledge. The heat. The heat is one of those issues that is really to the forefront of people's minds. How to beat the heat. There has been a lot circulating on social media, some true, some untrue. So we'll be able to break down those myths and get the correct information.
I know I
to the
reached out to
public.
you this week, Shane, about getting someone in to talk about it because I saw a lot of people, as you mentioned, circulating on social media. The first red flag, so to speak, about the message that was coming around on WhatsApp was that it was talking about 40-degree temperatures, 40 degrees Celsius temperatures. No, please. Might feel like that, not here. And then it was about the temperature of water that you should drink or the temperature of water that you should bathe with if temperatures are higher temperatures in our neck of the woods. So I wanted to be able to either corroborate or dispel, you know, whether it's true or not.
I can definitely touch on that. I'll start by saying that in everything you do with regard to the heat and hydration, you should choose a temperature that's comfortable for you. Some people like room temperature water, some people like ice chilled water. So you have to choose a temperature that is comfortable for you. We would have all heard instances of persons, our grandparents saying, don't go into the field, working in the garden and then coming inside and go straight in the bath. Again, do what's comfortable for you. The change in temperature, sudden change in temperature can cause your body to feel woozy, to use the words that persons use. And in extreme cases, it can cause fainting, but it doesn't cause a permanent impact on like your blood vessels. So people usually ask about blood vessels. It doesn't cause a permanent impact or bursting of your blood vessels. It can cause fainting because of that sudden shift, and persons usually recover right after. And that's why, as I mentioned, use a temperature to bathe or to drink that is comfortable for you. More importantly, I always get concerned when we are at this time of the year for persons who cannot speak and express themselves. So the elderly, the mentally challenged, the persons who are bedridden, those are the persons, if we feel hot and we feel thirsty, imagine those persons who are in bed, you know, not moving, the bed sheets feel hot, they too are losing hydration by the minute. And we have to remember those persons are pets as well and ensure everybody has hydration. Water is always best, absolutely. Persons tend to use energy drinks as well, but you have to be a bit careful with them because they can cause dehydration in itself. So coffee and common energy drinks, they can contribute significantly to dehydration. So water and coconut water, those are excellent sources of, natural sources of great hydration, and persons should ensure that they're sipping continuously through the day.
All right.
Quick question. There seems to be a lot of disparity between how much water you're supposed to drink in a given day.
Yes.
Now, I did a quiz the other day that told me I should be drinking, for my age, my weight, my height, 3 liters of water.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, I could maybe manage 2. 3 might be a bit pushing it. How do you know, as much as you can know, how much water you as an individual are supposed to drink per day?
Well, there's several ways to know. The first one is that you feel thirsty. When you feel thirsty, you're already behind the ball.
Yes.
The ball. The good thing about our bodies is that our bodies can adapt. If you drink too much water, it will send you to the bathroom more frequently. And if you drink too little water, you're not going as often. So we need to listen to our bodies. Yeah. One of the ways that you can tell if you are not having enough water is the skin not being supple. For persons who can't speak, bedridden persons, babies, if you're not seeing a pooling of saliva in their mouth, that's an indication that they're definitely behind the ball on water. So you drink what you can take in. Just to expand a little bit, there may be 2 persons of your age and height and weight, etc. One may be working in the sun, and one may be working in air condition. The person working in the sun naturally is going to be sweating more. So there are other factors that also contribute. So the best thing to do would be to listen to your body and drink water as often as you can. And remember, if you're already feeling thirsty, you're definitely behind the ball already.
I mean, Dr. Rhea, you put it just the right way for everybody to understand. You have to do what, as Bajans would say, what suits you, what's best for you. Because again, there could be, someone who regularly works inside, but on a particular day,
They're outside.
you're outside. You're
So
running
you
chores or
have
maybe in the
to,
garden. So you have to make sure that you're listening to your body and doing
And
what's
even
right for you. Love that.
speaking, there are days if I am chairing meetings back to back, I realize I get thirsty faster because we lose water through what we call our mucous membranes. I don't want to sound too scientific, but we lose water through our mucous membranes, through our eyes, through the inside of our mouth, through the inside of our nose. So the more you're talking, you're going to become more thirsty as well. So there's so many factors that will contribute to the amount of water you need, but thankfully our body, it speaks to us. So we listen to our body and you will be great.
All right, now for you, Shane, I know you guys have been busy in and outside of the hospital.
Yes.
We have a very interesting aerial shot of some works that you've been
Aerial
doing
and on
outside.
the ground, yeah.
Working on really kind of softening the appearance and feel in terms of how you relate. So talk to us about this initiative where you've kind of outlined the QEH on the outside.
Yes, all a part of our 60th anniversary celebrations, and the committee which governs those celebrations put on what we call a Human 60. So it's all about a team building exercise, building morale, and just getting our group together. So there you see some familiar faces as well, one of our SNOs there. You also see Dr. the Most Honorable Corey Ford, of course, our Director of Clinical and Diagnostic Services, Rhea's boss, immediate boss, Dr. Shank there, the A&E team. And what was good, you saw some of not only of the younger staff, but some of the senior doctors as well, taking some time out. Listen, outside was crazy hot this day.
And I know you want to say,
Fire.
Dr. Rhea, that you had plenty water.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we
did.
made sure that all our team there was
Yes.
watered down, but they came out and formed
Not
a
watered down,
hashtag,
Shane.
hashtag QEH60. There you see it.
Wow,
Nice.
that's a
Yeah.
good job.
Nice.
So
It really was fun.
despite the
It
sun
really
being
was,
so hot, it was a good time had by all. After we had an after work lime, so we spent some time together, and this is what we want to do. We want to encourage our staff, our colleagues, both on the medical side and ancillary staff, to really see the QEH as home away from home, and it helps to encourage us in our workspace as well and really build that camaraderie. So we're going to be pushing a lot more of this as we go through our 60th anniversary celebrations.
Well, Shane, Dr. Rhea, I see some tickets.
I
see tickets.
So we
I'm
have
just
some
saying.
events.
I'm just saying.
Yes, I should have done this at the beginning, but I forgot. So, of course, we have some events coming up. Thank you again, CBC and UT, share your platform here for showcasing it. Our public health talk, this is this Wednesday coming. We postponed it, but we're in the space that you recently occupied, the
So-
Standard
so
Showroom.
You're
Thanks for the
welcome. You're
link.
welcome.
Thanks for the link. So
Thank you.
the first talk is focused
Thank you.
on ophthalmology. So we're going to have some of our senior ophthalmologists there to share some critical information about things impacting the population. And then on the softer night, again, you promoted our recent movie night. The first one was for the kids. We call it our flashback movie night, another initiative of the 60th anniversary committee. Got to shout out Sophia Williams this morning. She's been instrumental in putting these events together. So again, some more tickets. This is for the next flashback movie night. We're showing Mission Impossible 7.
Typical Shane. He
so-
doesn't want to give you everything at once. He kind of just, he's sharing it out. But good, thank you so
That's
much.
all I have for the morning. And outside of that, a big thank you again to CBC for giving us this opportunity to really reach out and connect with the public that we serve.
You're welcome.
Good. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Shane, it's nice meeting you,
Yes,
like
nice meeting
formally.
you as well.
Formally.
Nice meeting
Dr.
you as
Rhea,
well.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you for having us. Yes.
Morning, morning, morning.